Living Treasure Award ceremony in celebration honoring pianist, educator, and musician Donna Paulson. My name is Alyssa Herzog-Melby, and I'm proud to chair the City of Northfield's Arts and Culture Commission. It's my privilege to represent the commission this evening as MC. And at this time, I'd like to welcome up our new partner, 50 North, and Lynn Pedersen to do a brief welcome as well.
Hello. And well, is that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just want to commend you on being such hardy stock and coming out tonight. This is great. We're very pleased to be a partner with the Living Treasure. We have lots of treasures around 50 North, and thankfully there's all still living that I know of right now. So it's a grand reward. It's honoring people that have been in the arts in the community for many, many years, and we're very, very pleased. And congratulations, Donna, for being this year's candidate and winner. So just welcome. Food is there, refreshments are there, so just help yourself and enjoy. It'll be a good night.
Thank you so much, Lynn. I want to echo her and thank you all first and foremost for braving tonight's cold in order to celebrate with us tonight. We have a few other thank yous and housekeeping items before we get to the real program for tonight. So first, I would like to ask my fellow commissioners to please stand at this time so that everyone can see who is working on arts and culture in our city. Thank you so much for your service and for ensuring our community is full of life. In particular, I would like to say a special thank you to Bonnie Jean Flum, who once again has been instrumental in helping to put together the Living Treasure Award program and ceremony. So thank you so much. I would also like to recognize our city staff liaisons, Teresa Jensen and Kathy Rushvazina. Teresa's way in the back. Kathy, please stand up. We are grateful for their ongoing support of arts and culture in our community. So on behalf of the Arts and Culture Commission and the Northfield community, I want to express appreciation to the Living Treasure Awards official sponsor, the Northfield News, and to publisher Chad Yelming, who we'll be hearing from in just a moment. I once again wish to thank Lynn Pedersen, Executive Director at 50 North, Elaine Myers, Administrative Assistant, and her other staff for hosting these festivities and providing such generous hospitality and yummy treats. I would also like to offer special recognition to Rob Shanalak, a former member of the Arts and Culture Commission and owner of By All Means Graphics, for providing these lovely printed programs for us tonight. Yes, thank you all. I want to draw your attention over to the treats table. If you didn't see already, there is more information about this year's Sidewalk Poetry Contest. I would be remiss if I didn't remind everyone that submissions for our 9th annual Sidewalk Poetry Competition will be accepted starting February 1st, this Friday, through 8 p.m. on February 28th. We're really grateful for our past support of the Friends and Foundation of the Northfield Library, and once again to the Southeastern Minnesota Arts Council for funding that will allow us this year, for the first time ever, to accept Spanish poems, which we're very excited about. More information about the Sidewalk Poetry Competition is available online, as well as our posters, and we really hope that each and every one of you will be inspired, maybe by tonight's program, to submit a poem for that. I also hope, did everyone receive a raffle ticket? Wave it in the air. Good. Hold on to those. Tonight we are raffling off 2 theater ticket vouchers to Northfield Arts Guild theater production or to a Cannon Valley Regional Orchestra concert. So special thanks to the Northfield Arts Guild for their donation. The raffle drawing will take place at the conclusion of tonight's program, and of course, you must be present to win. Now, before we go any further, I want to take a quick moment and remind folks to please silence their cell phones. It will be particularly distracting if that were to go off in tonight's lovely program that we have. So now, on to the reason why we are here. The idea for the Northfield Living Treasure Award came to us from Japan, where there is a long-standing tradition of recognizing those who have helped create and define the Japanese culture through artistic endeavors. The United Nations adopted this notion and identified criteria so that it could be adapted elsewhere by countries, states, and cities around the world. Northfield's Arts and Culture Commission in 2011 adopted the UN's criteria to honor the arts and to celebrate their importance to us by recognizing and valuing those individuals who have helped to define Northfield, our living treasures who make this community special and who make our living here more meaningful. The criteria, as outlined by the UN, are as follows. The nominee must have amassed a body of work that demonstrates consistency of excellence. The nominee must be an inspiration to others. Personal admirable attributes that the nominee may possess include kindness, courage, wisdom, grace, authenticity, humor, humility, respectfulness, and generosity. The nominee must be living and, as adapted to here in Northfield, a Northfield area resident. So all of our past Living Treasure Award recipients listed in our program have been carefully made with these criteria in mind, and this year's selection, Donna Paulson, exemplifies these attributes to the highest degree. It is now my pleasure to introduce the past recipients of the Living Treasure Award who are able to join us tonight. Please hold your applause until the end as I ask them to stand as they are able and as their names are read. Is Myrna Johnson here?
No, she's not.
She's not. Okay. Patsy Dew, Theo Wee, Dwayne Wee, and is Cora Schultz here? Wonderful. Hi, Cora. Thank you. I missed you on your way in. Jan Shoger, Paul Nemastow, Judy Swanson, and Judy Code.
This is a real Northfield happening.
We're so grateful that all of you could join us this evening. I'd like to now invite Chad Yelming, publisher of the Northfield News, and for the sponsorship of the Living Treasure Award, and call upon him to say a few words. Chad?
The Northfield News is proud to partner with the Arts and Culture Commission and sponsor the Living Treasure Award. We recognize the significant and positive impact the arts have on the quality of life in our community. We thank all those who took time to nominate candidates for the award, and we congratulate Donna Paulson on her well-deserved honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Since 2016, Northfield Poet Laureate Rob Hardy has been honoring us with his poetry across a wide range of community events. Tonight, he has prepared a poem in Donna's honor. It is my pleasure now to introduce Rob Hardy to commemorate tonight's award.
Okay. What I really wanted to do was write a musical based on Paulson's career. Unfortunately, I'm not as talented as she is, and I only got one number written, and I didn't get the composer lined up, so all I have is the lyrics. So I'm going to read the lyrics now. You can, if you want, to join along on the chorus. The chorus, there are two lines in the chorus. The last line is, Donna always knows the score. So when you hear a word that rhymes with score, then that's your cue. You can come along and say, Donna always knows the score. Okay, Donna knows the score. So, and if there's a composer in the house, see me afterwards. Okay. Some people stand at center stage and sing words printed on a page. Some read and learn and memorize, and other people improvise. But this one thing in life is sure, Donna always knows the score. Donna is the one to hire if you need someone to lead the choir, or an organist, or orchestrator, or a seasoned music educator. Donna's done it all before.
Donna always knows the score.
As an organist, she's quite amenable to being highly ecumenical. She plays hymns by Luther and hymns by Wesley. In 55 years, more or less, she's played postludes, preludes, hymns galore.
Donna always knows the score.
Senior recital or musical chorus, no matter who she's accompanying for us. Up at St. Olaf or down at the Guild, her hands at the keyboard are steady and skilled. She's a musician musicians adore.
Donna always knows the score.
If someone skips a bar or section, Donna makes a course correction. When Charlie strains his voice, she knows how to instantly transpose. She accompanies with great rapport.
Donna always knows the score.
Of music sacred or comedic, her knowledge is encyclopedic. Don't have the music? Never fear, just hum it and she'll play by ear. She's a musician musicians adore.
Donna always knows the score.
Of famous musical teams we know, like Gilbert and Sullivan, Lerner and Lowe, in Northfield, the combo of Donna and Myrna is the team that's guaranteed to earn a permanent place in our musical world. Donna always knows the score. Her joyful enthusiasm always infects every ensemble that Donna directs. As a teacher and mentor, her talent's well known. As a music director, she sets the tone and cultivates esprit de corps. Donna always knows the score. Here's the coda. For the Northfield Arts and Culture Commission, to grant this award was an easy decision. For 50-some years, it's been Northfield's pleasure to have Donna as our living treasure.
Thank you so much, Rob, for that incredibly fitting tribute to Donna. Now I'd like to call to the podium Carolyn Dennings. Carolyn, along with Charlie Black and Craig Ellenbow, were co-nominators for Donna Paulson for the Living Treasure Award, and she'll share more about why Donna is so deserving of this honor.
Thank you.
You know, that's quite a hard act to follow. Is this better? Yes. Better? Is it good?
Yes.
Yep. As one of the 3 nominators for this award, I am happy to share a few words from all 3 of us. From Charlie Black, who is away now in a warmer climate. Active in Arts Guild Productions since 1973, Charlie recalls the inspiration of Donna's leadership, her generous spirit, and her exceptional musical talent. And one amazing example of that talent has stuck with him to this day. It was an early rehearsal for a ballad in Jessie. Donna at the piano, Charlie standing nearby. In the middle of the song, Donna stopped, looked up and said, "Charlie, I think this is too high for you. Let's try it in a lower key." So she proceeded to go ahead and make the adjustment to a lower key by ear. Not unusual for Donna, but for Charlie it was an incredible eye-opener. From retired pastor Craig Ellingbo, who is here tonight. Where are you, Craig? Way at the back. Okay, thank you. In Donna's work as a church musician, Craig recognized her, and I am quoting here, professionalism and joy for life woven together in a desire for excellence. And he pondered the concept of treasure and its relationship to heart. Quoting from his own field, "Where your heart is, there is your treasure also." Donna's heart, he said, is caught up in music. That is her treasure and a key part of her identity. And she shares this love and passion for music with all who want to pursue it. I knew Donna first as a piano teaching colleague at St. Olaf. She brought many students to a deeper understanding of the essence of music, beyond notes on the page and fingers on the keys. And she committed her musical expertise to them all at whatever their pianistic level was. Since then, we've had many other musical connections of great joy. Donna is the quintessential complete musician. Teacher, performer in many styles, improviser, collaborator, arranger, music leader, mentor. And one of the most striking aspects of this for me is Donna's incredible diversity. Her musical sharing includes countless art-skilled performances, worship services, weddings, funerals, sing-alongs, meetings of organizations, and celebrations of all kinds. As a go-to musician, she continues to infuse events with her expertise, her boundless enthusiasm, ask anyone who has worked with her, and her desire to share her love of music. Donna herself considers her signature work to be her piano accompaniment for Jessie. Why this, among so many musical achievements? I think some of you already know the answer. It all started in the first rehearsal. The composer team, Vern Sutton and Bill Huckabee, arrived with overture material sketched out and one solo song complete. And for everything else, only the vocal score. That means melody and some words for the singers. The piano accompaniment would come later. Well, of course, this didn't faze Donna. I'm guessing she enjoyed herself. She was in her element. From this sketchy information, melody and words, Donna could hear what should go into that piano score, and she could play it on the spot, bringing the right style, harmony, pacing, and mood, as well as the notes. And the composers were so pleased with how well she understood them and understood the music, they decided not to complete the piano score themselves. Donna could do it, and she did. For the first year of Jessie performances, she improvised her accompaniment. Later, with a grant from the Guild, she created a complete piano score with options for string, bass, violin, and drums as well. In a few moments, Donna will speak for herself. It will be a musical experience. But one more thing. Who else do you know in Northfield who would welcome a newcomer church organist by introducing that person to one of our area's distinctive seasonal events, the Norwegian Lutefisk Church Supper? A treasure is something very special. That is what Donna is in our community. Thank you, Donna.
And thank you, Carolyn, for those words. Next, to say a few words and to confer tonight's award, let us welcome Northfield's Mayor, Rhonda Pownell.
Thank you. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you all this evening. As I came up here beforehand, just to ensure that the microphone would sound low enough for us short people up here. So hopefully you can all hear me. Can you hear me in the back? Okay, wonderful. So again, it is my pleasure as your mayor to represent the city at tonight's 2019 Living Treasure Award presentation. Northfield's Arts and Culture Commission over the past 11 years since its establishment has engaged in a variety of endeavors that have contributed to Northfield's identity as a community rich in the arts and culture. Art in City Hall, sidewalk poetry, the High School Young Sculptors Project, and the Poet Laureate Program are but a few of the projects that have undertaken in collaboration with other local organizations and agencies. and the Commission's recent adoption of a cultural plan that aligns with the city's strategic plan marks the culmination of a planning project that will provide a springboard to future arts and culture endeavors in our community. I had the privilege over the past year of participating in the development of this newly adopted cultural plan when I served on or as part of the Northfield cohort on a project sponsored by the Arts Lab Minnesota organization. Over the course of 4 retreats, we were able to work in partnership with each other and in collaboration with representatives from other communities as we set a path forward for the development of a new Arts and Culture Commission, and in the future, hopefully near future, City Council adopted cultural plan. Recognizing that partnership strengthened our community, I am pleased to note that tonight's Living Treasure, thank you, Donna, event is being carried out for the first time in partnership with 50 North. And since its inception, the award presentation has been sponsored by the Northfield News. Both of these relationships underscore the value and importance of community collaborations, truly making us a stronger community. In 2011, the Arts and Culture Commission established the Living Treasure Award. I would like to thank the past recipients of this award for their continued contributions to the artistic identity of our city, and I extend a special welcome to them tonight. Thank you all for being here. We are here this evening to recognize the 2019 Living Treasure Award recipient. Her nominators have described Donna Paulson as a multi-talented musician, of which we get to share in and delight in tonight, with a long history of service as a teacher, church musician, and artistic musical leader in our community. They further describe her work with the Northfield Arts Guild as contributing significantly to Northfield's identity as a community where the arts flourish, and share that Donna inspires participants to their highest level of understanding and achievement, who is always attentive to the human element of learning. She was further described as caring, encouraging, enthusiastic, and fun. And other descriptors include classically trained solo performer, accompanist, ensemble, pianist, and skillful improviser. And looking at this evening's program, I can see that we are in for a treat as we have the opportunity as an audience to observe Donna in action as a solo performer, accompanist, and sing-along leader. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to present the 2019 Living Treasure Award to Donna Paulson.
Rachel Hyder, on behalf of the Northfield Arts Guild, would now like to make a special presentation to Donna. Oh, yes, you can come right back up here, Donna.
All right, you want me to be right up here? We know each other.
Well, I am here as witness to say everything you've heard about Donna tonight is exactly true. In the early 2000s, mid-2000s, I moved here to Northfield, and Patsy Dew, who was the theater coordinator at the Guild at the time, found out that I was not only an actress but a director, and she offered me the job to direct Guys and Dolls, with one caveat. I had to pass the muster with the music director. I think we all know who that was. It's true, I was so nervous because it's usually the other way around. The director, interviews the music director, but no. And it was an amazing conversation. My nerves were all put to rest very quickly, and Donna and I hit it off greatly. And like I said, everything you heard about her is very true. And anyone who has sung for her knows that no one will get diction out of you like Donna. So, Donna, on behalf of the board, staff, and all supporters of the Northfield Arts Guild, we would like to present you with an honorary membership to the Northfield Art School. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And so without further ado, finally let us hear from our living treasure. Donna has prepared for us a PowerPoint presentation that will lead us, or maybe first she's talking, then the PowerPoint that I know will quickly lead us into what is sure to be a delightful musical program that showcases the breadth and depth of Donna's style, musical talent, and community contributions. Our living treasure for 2019, Donna Paulson. Thank you.
The shortest one. I don't know if I can get this down.
Somebody make that happen.
No, did I get it far enough? Yeah. I am the shortest one, I'm sure. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. In the words of Osmo Vanska, conductor of the Minnesota Orchestra, music has the power to uplift, to bring joy, to illuminate our collective humanity. As I have gotten older, music has meant more and more to me. It's become quite an emotional experience as I listen to the music of the world's greatest composers. To receive this Living Treasure Award from the Arts and Culture Commission is a very humbling experience. How can one receive an award when one is having so much fun? And I had a lot of fun doing that. In the past weeks since the award was announced, I've been very excited for this evening, even a little bit nervous. But today, I just decided, well, it's another opening, another show. So I hope you enjoy what we've prepared for you. I'm very grateful to the past winners of this award who have voted for me this year. I've received a lot more than I have actually given, because I have the friendship of many, many, many people with whom I have collaborated over these many, many years. At the risk of forgetting someone, it's always dangerous to start naming people. I would like to thank not only the past winners, but also those persons who have spoken tonight: Alyssa, Lynn, Chad, Rob, Rhonda, and Rachel. A huge thank you goes to Carolyn Jennings, who nominated me and spent many, many tireless hours writing the nomination materials. She's been with me through the whole process. Thanks to Craig Ellingbo, who wrote on behalf of the church work that I did, to Charlie Black, who wrote on behalf of the Northfield Arts Guild. Special thanks to Bonnie Jean Flum, who has been such a supportive friend also with this whole experience, and also worked on program materials and a lot of other things. Thank you to Rob Shanelak, and By All Means Graphics for donating the programs. To Paul Niemisto, who wrote the biography and with his knowledge of technology put together the video, which we will see soon. I thank him for that. When I put together the program, I wanted to include something from various aspects of my career: teaching, church music, Northfield Arts Guild. I called Joanne Polly to represent our time spent playing for church, as well as we've given a recital together fairly recently. To represent the Northfield Arts Guild, I called Ruth Legvold, who quickly agreed to do the legwork in getting 10 people from the Guild to do the train scene from the show Jessie. Those people are listed on the program, and we've had a wonderful time not only in rehearsing, but in reminiscing about all the fun we had all of those many, many years that we did the show Jessie, as well as I don't know how many other shows. I think mine number about 50, almost 50 shows. Some of them were repeats, because we would do them one year and do them maybe 5, 10 years later. I thank all of those people. How could I not thank Myrna Johnson? My son David is here from California, as well as other family members. But David and I stopped over to see Myrna yesterday afternoon. We planned to stay about a half an hour, but we ended up staying about an hour and a half. And we had a wonderful time talking with Myrna, and I know that she enjoyed our talking. David said, did you know how Myrna just became more alive as we talked about this show and about that show? And she was feeling well, and
We had a good time. David asked her about how she cut the shows so that they were a shorter length and so on, and we had a wonderful time talking with Myrna yesterday. In 1970, she and Marie Sathram and Sue Shepherd asked me to come to Sue's home to play through the musical Song of Norway. Afterwards, they asked me to play for that show. And I suspect that I sort of just had an audition. Anyway, I did play for that show. I was just the pianist for that show, but later on I was musical director for many, many shows. I learned so much from Myrna about the theater and how to produce a show, how to be a director. After a while, it was like Myrna and I were kind of like one person, and we didn't really talk much about how we were going to do the show. We just kind of knew how we were going to do it. One summer we did I think not only one summer, I think several summers they did what's known as theater in repertory, which means that they did 3 shows that summer, and well, one show was being in performance, the other one they were rehearsing, and then they did another one. So I said I would direct 2 of the shows, the first and the last, and then in the middle one, during that production, then my husband and I and the kids were going to go to the cabin. Well, that show was I Do. Less than a week before the show was to open, Myrna called to say they did not have a pianist. And was there any possibility I could do it? Well, we live in a hillside court at that time. So I said, Myrna, what you're going to have to do is to come over and wait for Bert to come home for lunch and ask him. So she came over and she asked him if there's any possibility we would give up our vacation plans. And right away, I remember him saying, of course you have to do it. And so I don't remember how our vacation plans went, but anyway, I did that show. You know, tickets were sold and everything, they couldn't cancel. I didn't know any music from that show, like Oklahoma and a lot of those other shows. I knew a lot of the music, but I really didn't know any music for I Do. So needless to say, I spent quite a few hours on at the keyboard practicing. Myrna and Vern Sutton made up the 2-member cast, and Vern had other commitments that weekend, so we couldn't just practice. He could come only a few times, and I think we did 3, at the most 4 rehearsals before we opened that show. The dress rehearsal was Wednesday, and we opened it on Thursday. And it was just so much fun working with 2 wonderful professionals. You know, they knew it, and I got my act together and practiced a lot, and we did. My family, many are here tonight. I was going to have them stand up, but they've already stood up for the big picture, so I don't think they need to stand up again. My husband Bert spent many, many, many hours, evening hours, while I was rehearsing and performing and taking care of the kids. And when the children were little, they turned pages for me. But sometimes I'd have to say, turn, because they were so busy watching the show, I think I got to turn pages. My grandkids, 3 of them are here tonight, 1 is working. They would come to the balcony and they'd watch me play the organ, and I'd let them play on the organ a little bit and show them the various sounds of the various musical sounds from the organ. And again, I say thanks to all of you for coming tonight and for being my friends. Some of you I've directed, some of you I just play for in church, and some of you are just my friends. So I'm very, very happy that you are here. And now we're going to see this video that Paul put together. Dave's going to help me with that, and I'm going to make a few comments about them. It shouldn't take too long, and then we'll go on from there to the program. Okay? Well, this is younger days. Would you think that was younger days? And this was my third class.
Take the mic out.
Pull the mic out, Don. Take the mic out.
What now?
Just pull it.
Oh, okay. Okay, this was something that I wrote. It must have been an arrangement or harmonization. How Blessed is the Little Pocket. I had theory from Winston Castler and that was at St. Olaf. And he came the year that I was a freshman, now called first-year students. Anyway, he came that first year, and then he retired the spring of the year I started teaching at St. Olaf. So it was sort of a back and forth thing there. Okay, are you doing it? Okay. I'm really quite a good music arranger, but I'm not crazy about composing. But we had to compose, so this was something that I composed for a music theory class. Okay. I think it was pretty schmaltzy, to tell you the truth. Susan Hintz, this was something else I did. She gave a recital, a violin recital, and I played, I think Art Campbell maybe played for part of that too. Okay. And this was when I retired from Trinity. I was at Trinity 25 years, directing choirs and playing the organ. Same thing, this was a goodbye celebration. And the same thing again. And this is this is also from this is from St. Peter's. I wasn't directing at that time, but Peter Schleif was, and I must say that I've always enjoyed church choirs, and when I was at Trinity, all the high school kids were in that choir too. So we numbered 35 to 40 people, and even at St. Peter's, when I was directing, we had big choirs, and I always liked that because you could have a lot of voice parts there. Okay? That's just part of that. And of course, then I left St. Peter's, and they were saying, "Why are you leaving us?" And I said, "Well, at my age, I don't want to get any place by 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning." And this was a Song of Norway, and that was the very first show that I ever did. And one of the favorite shows was a little night music. I really enjoyed that. Okay. And Carolyn and I played a duo piano part on Side by Side by Sondheim. You see Judy Grant there, and Ray Sathram, Carolyn's on there, and Sue Shepherd, and a couple, Charlie Black, a couple other men there. Okay. And here was the first Jessie that we did, Charlie Black. And we did take that, we took that on the road. Can you believe that? We went to the Mabel Tainter Theater, and it's in Menominee, Wisconsin, and we did 2 shows there. Okay. More of that, Jessie. No, go ahead. And more. And then I don't know how many times we did it. Kathy Rush eventually did it at the Grand Theater. That was with the Lockwood community, with the Lockwood Theater, and I played for the first year of that, but I didn't play the second time. David Miller played that. Okay, it's the same thing. Go ahead. And this is a copy of the script of Jessie, and you see it will say D7, or that's my handwriting. And when the villain would come, I would play a rumble on the keyboard, or I would play something lovely when the heroine would come, and all of that. That's what that all meant to me. It was right on the script. And that's more of the same thing. And here's my. There were 10 books that I actually wrote then to make the piano accompaniment, and so the Art School got a grant for that, and that's my writing. We eventually hired Charles Forsberg to take my pencil music, and he made a copy of ink copy of that. And I am using that tonight. I'm daring to use that, but it's the only one I had. And I see I have a little piece of paper on there that says, "Don't even think of using this music." I didn't have the other one, so I'm using that one. Same thing. There are 10 books like this. Go ahead. Amal, the Night Visitor. I can't remember who directed that, but that was done at the UCC church, and I was a pianist for that. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Go ahead. Here it is. That work to benefit the Community Action Center. And here we are practicing Myrna and myself, and I can't think who is that?
It's Brian Sostek.
Who is it?
Brian Sostek.
Brian Sostek, okay. Okay, and here we have Don Parker, and we have Noel, is it? And David, I think. And directing that at the Arts Guild. And I don't know what show this was, but I think that's David Miller's son on the right, so I think it was Crazy for You.
I think it's one of the Jessies.
One of the Jessies, was he on that too? Okay, yeah. All right, that's okay. Go ahead. Kiss Me Kate, another show we did. And I suppose that's the same thing, I can't remember. Oklahoma, go ahead. And, this was after we did Little Night Music. There's a song in there called And the Woman Was Perfection or something like that. So at the party afterwards, some of the cast members wrote this about me. If she'd ever been tardy, if she'd only been something slow, if she weren't so hardy with the piano and told, if she'd only been perfectly awful, it would have been wonderful. And then a little bit later it goes, but the woman was perfection. They wrote a whole big long thing about that, so okay, that's enough of that. That's the same thing from that other one. Okay, same thing. This was just a picture, I think, from one of the church directories. Okay, then we're gonna have a sing-along later. Okay, so now we're going to be on to the program, and I just wanted to say something about my teaching. I'm going to teach a little bit when we get to the overture, but I taught in the public schools here after I taught in Tracy and Randolph, where I taught I taught vocal music for 5 years in Tracy for all the high school vocal music, and then 1 year in Randolph, taught everything. I wasn't a very good band director, but my certificate says I can do it, so I did it. And then I also was home for a while, and then I started teaching the public schools in the what was then the junior high school, 7th and 8th grade, and I taught the general music class. Everybody had to take it at that time. So in 8th grade, I made up a music appreciation curriculum, and they had to know between 30 and 40 classical musical themes and so on. And I said, when you get to be, when you're driving down the road, when you're an adult, you will say, oh, I know what that piece is. You probably won't remember the composer, and you probably won't remember the title, but you'll say, I do know that. Well, some years later, I was at a wedding reception, and a woman came up to me, and she was a former student. And she said, I want you to know that I'm married, and we have boys, and every morning we milk the cows, and we listen to WCAL, which was wonderful. And I know that those of us that have taught, have experiences like that, but that was really very nice of her to tell me that. And so that's all I'm going to say about teaching right now. But then to represent the church music I've done, we don't have an organ, so I'm going to play an arrangement by Mark Hayes of I Need Thee Every Hour, and that will represent the church music that I've done. Let's see. Whoops. I don't know. At my age, difficult to get around.
Doing great.
Yeah. Here, let's see. Get that right.
You need page turners?
No, I don't need a page turner.
I don't think you need that music, Mom.
All right, let's see if we can do this.
Joanne and I have played in church music for quite a while, and also gave a recital about, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, and had hoped to do another one when I came up with Carpal Tunnel, but that is in pretty good shape now, so we might do another one at some time. Anyway, so we're going to play a couple things from Percy Granger. Let me have the right page up. Today I had the wrong page up. Okay. the score I'm not supposed to use. Anyway, here's the little teaching of this. I'm going to play the overture for Jesse. And I guess I have to have you hold this because I want to play a little bit. This is, let's see, I have to, hold on here. The first thing that you'll hear is Jesse. Jesse is always saying goodbye to Z. He's always going. He sings goodbye Z, and so it's on. And you'll hear that right away. So that's the very first thing. And then Z is his girlfriend in the beginning, but very soon becomes his wife. And so then you'll hear this. And so forth. And the James boys have a theme. So you'll hear that next. That's the James boys. And then of course he comes back again and he sings Goodbye Z and so forth. And then after they're married, they are living as a young newlywed couple, and they're doing a soft shoe dance, and that's what this one sounds like. Right at the end of that, there's a big crash, and it goes into the train scene. And after I'm through playing the overture, then we'll get the group from the Arts Guild, and they're going to sing that train scene. But that is like this. And it just says, climb aboard, hear the whistle whine, or something like that. So those are the themes that you should listen for. So that's my teaching for tonight.
Good one.
I have to scotch tape this 1 second. The piano isn't big enough. Shoot. Should have had this done. Sorry about this. There we go. Do you need this? I don't need that, no. Thanks. that had seen that show, that brought back really good memories for you because it was just really exciting to do that show. Okay, now I have Ruth's group that's going to come up and they're going to do the train scene. So you've already heard the melody for that. John, can you get by there? Yes. Their names are on the program. So while they're getting, are you there? So while they're getting finishing setting up, there'll be 6 soloists in this, and they're all listed on your program. And at the end of this train scene, Jesse is going to come and rob the train, but we don't ever see Jesse, and this is the end of this scene here. So we have kind of a brief ending of it, but anyway, they're going to blow up the bridge. Okay, so I think we're ready.
I've got a government homestead for fighting in the on the old St. Louis line.
Everyone pursues a dream every time aboard the old St. Louis line.
When we get to Lawrence, we'll have the boys help you with your things. Ticket ma'am. Hello, sweetheart. Do you have any large baggage checked?
In the car just ahead is me sewing machine. Can a poor Irish widow confide? I'm going out west to marry a stranger. You see, I'm a mail order bride. My intended's a minor. See, here is his tintype. Just look at those marvelous eyes. I hope he's a sport and a family man. Cause little Polly here is a total surprise.
He won't believe his eyes when he sees us on the old St. Louis line.
Ticket, sir. Ticket. What's your destination?
Me, cheeky my man, affordable. He had me up some country store, all the overcoat. He stuck a ball and lost, no come till relax. The only news for them a day, other lumberjacks.
What does it mean?
What did he say? This is International Day and the polylingual old St. Louis line.
Must be one of them Swedes going to Lindstrom. We've had a lot of them lately. Here to get care of you, Sven.
You betcha.
Take it, ma'am. My, what a wee thing you have. Oh, my condolences, ma'am. I see by this that the coffin and the baggage car belongs to you.
My husband died in the war, so young it was a pity. We'll take his coffin home to rest at peace in Garden City. Baby Elsie and I will bear the tragedy fine. We're grateful to the courteous folks of the old St. Louis line.
It's precious like steam, and lonely widow's dream as she travels with her husband on the old St. Louis line.
Ticket, Reverend. What does this mean, Reverend? You seem to have no baggage checked.
Ask not questions of the Lord. Render unto Caesar a helping hand unmarked. A lamb in sheep's clothing will catch the robber wolf off guard. O shepherd of the flock, keep your eyes open for a sign. The second coming is upon us on the blessed St. Louis line.
The second coming is upon us on the blessed St. Louis.
Right on time, just before the Lawrence Bridge.
What has happened?
Look out the window, everybody. The bridge is blown out. Fortunately, the engineer stopped the train on time.
What does it mean, Reverend?
It means you are about to witness a train robbery.
A train robbery?
Yes, it's the latest invention thought up by the James boys. And unless I miss my guess, they'll be along at any minute.
have to tell you a little anecdote about one that I did in Palm Springs. Bert and I used to go to Palm Springs in January. And we went to maybe BFW or someplace for a fish fry on Friday night. And they knew I played, so would I play some sing-along stuff? And I eventually did. And I'm playing along, and as I'm playing, here somebody gets one of those Coke glasses that has that big bulb on the top, and they started putting money in it. And I thought, don't do that, but I couldn't quit playing, so at the end I finally played the Minnesota Rouser, and somebody put $5 in it. And so when I got home, I had $38. Now, I'm not suggesting that you do it, or I will give it all back. So, anyway, I put together a seasonal sing-along, and I'm not going to have a lot of little introductory things in between. I'll just get you into a new key, and you just sing right along and enjoy all these old songs that we used to sing. No April showers. You'll go to Easter parade.
Easter
program. I think Alyssa has more to say to you, so. Thanks again. So many of you came. I'm just so pleased. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Donna, for a truly delightful evening here tonight. We have one last bit of business before we conclude. I hope you'll all have a chance to congratulate Donna as we exit tonight and make our way home. Please make sure everyone's driving safely and that you all bundle up toasty warm before we head outside. And